This is a short video showcasing the disassembly of the Synology DS720 NAS. This will highlight how easy it is to service and access the internal components of the NAS, as well as understanding how this particular NAS is constructed and how good the internal build quality is. The Synology DS720 is a small form factor NAS that should fit in any desk or drawer. However, just because it's small, that doesn't mean it's hard to service or open up. First, we rotate it and remove the two main screws from the back side. They don't look like it, but these screws are held on very tight, so get yourself a good quality Phillips screwdriver, otherwise you will strip them or damage the casing in the process of the disassembly. Afterwards, you pull the casing from the front of the NAS and it will snap towards you. Afterwards, you can remove it from the side. It basically sits on a rail system that is secured with the screws we just removed. With the main plastic cover removed, we get to see that the Synology DS720 has an internal metal-made cage that is not only used to hold the storage devices, but acts as an internal structure for the plastic casing, or better said, the plastic outer shell, plus the additional components of the NAS. On the opposite side of the metal frame, we have the two M.2 slots. These are used to install two M.2 SSDs, which are used as the active cache of the NAS system. While not mandatory, these M.2 SSDs will help with the access speeds of the NAS and the installed drives. At the front of the NAS, there is the single DDR4 RAM slot, which can handle a maximum of 4 GB of additional memory, increasing the total RAM of the Synology DS720 NAS to 6 GB. Although some users have confirmed that a higher RAM capacity is compatible and can work, however, it is not officially supported. At the back of the NAS, we have a single 92mm fan with the model number FD129225LL N, and it is made by YS Tech. The fan, or at least one that shares the same model number as this one, is rated for a maximum speed of 1800 RPM. However, this fan, much like many others, is controlled through a simple 3-pin connector, thus controlled via the voltage supplied by the motherboard of the NAS. And yes, you can replace this fan with something better like a Noctua or a noise blocker model. However, you will void your warranty in doing so and might invite other issues along the way, such as the warning that the fan is not working or the fan stopping due to a lower than detected rotational speed. So be careful if you decide to make a fan upgrade. Going further, we must remove 4 screws, 2 on each side of the metal cage. This will allow us to remove the rear fan and its shroud, while keeping everything else in place and connected. Before you do this though, don't forget to remove the screw that is found below the rear USB 3.0 port. In addition, the USB 3.0 port is attached to the metal cage by an additional screw located right on the underside of its mounting plate. After all these are removed, the rear shroud and fan can be separated from the cage and you will gain access to the motherboard of the Synology DS720 NAS. With everything before mentioned removed, we have easy access to the motherboard. The CPU used is an Intel Celeron J4125, a low-power quad-core processor launched at the end of 2019. It has a base frequency of 2 GHz and a burst frequency of 2.7 GHz. The graphics card integrated into the CPU is the Intel UHD Graphics 600. A simple battery is installed on the lower part of the motherboard. This looks to be the same type of battery used on all modern motherboards to keep the BIOS settings saved while the system has no power delivered to it. It's a simple and effective way of keeping things stored safely, and it has worked reliably for years in all types of systems. This small chip that is installed right next to the battery socket is used to store the default Synology Disk Station Manager, or Disk State Manager for short. This type of storage for default software, firmware and drivers is nothing new or uncommon to see, as it's an effective way of storing unaltered data for later usage or for doing a full reset on the system. The Synology DS720 is easy to take apart and well made. There are no plastic clips used with this NAS, something which I appreciate because plastic can break if you do not disassemble it carefully. However, with only a few metal screws, which so happens to use the standard Phillips design, the Synology DS720 is easy to service and upgrade if you need. However, keep in mind that upgrading your fan will void the warranty in many countries, as it's a vital part of the NAS system and many fans will not function properly with the fan curve, which is preset from the factory. I hope this video was useful in understanding how your NAS works, and if you decide to take it apart for a cleanup or for a fan upgrade, at least now you know how to do it safely.